My beloved child, hear me tonight, because this is not an ordinary message. Heaven moved before you even pressed play. Before your eyes found these words, angels were already surrounding this moment, because your spirit has been crying out for answers longer than anyone around you realizes. You thought your prayers disappeared into silence. You thought your tears fell unnoticed in the darkness of your lonely nights. But my child, every cry shook eternity. Every whispered prayer reached heaven. Every moment you nearly broke apart emotionally was seen by me completely. And tonight, I need you to understand something that will change the way you see your life forever. What I prepared for you can no longer be stopped. Stop scrolling right now and breathe slowly for a moment. I, Jesus, need your full attention, because the enemy fought desperately to keep you from hearing this message tonight. Darkness tried to distract you. Fear tried to exhaust your mind. Overthinking tried to pull your attention away. Emotional heaviness tried convincing you to ignore these words quickly and move on. But I silenced hell itself to make sure this message reached you, because your answer has already been released in heaven. Do not treat this like coincidence. Do not treat this like another ordinary video or another random message passing through your day. This moment was planned before your birth, because I knew there would come a night when your spirit would desperately need this encounter with me. You cried in secret, thinking nobody heard you. I saw every hidden breakdown. I saw the nights when you stared into darkness with tears running down your face, because your heart became too exhausted to carry the pain any longer. I saw the moments when disappointment crushed your spirit quietly while you pretended to everyone else that you were okay. I saw how loneliness wrapped itself around your thoughts after people walked away from your life unexpectedly. I saw the fear you hid behind your smile. I saw the panic you buried deep inside your chest while trying to remain strong for everyone else. And my child, heaven recorded every tear. Not one cry was ignored. Not one prayer disappeared into silence. Tonight, I am telling you this personally. Your breakthrough is no longer coming. It has already begun. Even while you were suffering, heaven was moving behind the scenes in ways your human eyes could not see. While you cried yourself to sleep, I was rearranging people, opportunities, timing, and spiritual battles around your future. While you questioned whether life would ever improve, I was opening doors quietly that no enemy would ever be able to close again. While you thought nothing was changing, eternity itself was shifting in your favor. That is why the enemy fought so hard against your peace lately. Darkness sensed movement before you did. The enemy prayed you would ignore this message tonight. Hell wanted your mind distracted, because what I am about to reveal will break chains that have held your spirit captive for too long. The enemy knew that once your heart remembered my promises again, hopelessness would lose its grip over your life. Darkness knew that once you understood what heaven already decided about your future, fear would no longer control your thoughts the same way. That is why confusion intensified recently. That is why emotional exhaustion grew heavier. That is why loneliness became deeper. Hell was trying to weaken your spirit before this encounter could happen. But my beloved child, no force in darkness has enough authority to stop what heaven already completed over your destiny. My child, this is your confirmation. The waiting season is ending. What you begged me for during your darkest nights has already been approved in heaven. I heard every trembling prayer spoken through tears. I heard the moments when your voice cracked while asking me, Lord, when will things finally change? I heard you asking why doors remain closed. I heard you questioning why life became so painful. And even when answers seemed delayed, heaven never stopped working for your good. The silence was never abandonment. The waiting was never punishment. I was preparing something greater than your pain could currently understand. This is not just a promise anymore. It is already done. While you were crying, I was moving people, opening doors, breaking chains, and silencing battles you could not even see happening around your life. Some blessings took longer because I was protecting you from wrong timing. Some relationships ended because certain people could not go where I am taking you next. Some opportunities delayed because your spirit still needed healing before carrying the weight of greater favor. But now, my child, the season is shifting. The answer has already been released. Say I'm walking boldly and my calling if you're embracing his assignment. You survived pain that should have broken you completely because I was protecting a future too important to lose. There were nights when emotional suffering became unbearable. There were moments when your mind became so exhausted that you almost gave up internally. There were days when simply waking up felt difficult because sadness sat heavily upon your spirit. But heaven would not let darkness destroy what I created with purpose. Angels surrounded you during battles you never fully understood. My hand covered your life continuously even when you struggled to feel my presence clearly. You survived because your future still carries assignment, purpose, healing, and restoration that heaven refuses to cancel. Tonight, I need you to hear what heaven has decided about your life. You are not forgotten. You are not abandoned. You are not cursed. You are not permanently broken. Your mistakes did not destroy my plans for your future. Your pain did not cancel your destiny. Your delays did not mean I ignored your prayers. My beloved child, heaven already finished what fear keeps telling you is impossible. The answer you cried for in darkness is already moving toward your life right now. Do not leave before the end because the final words of this message carry the answer you have been praying for in silence. Stay close to my voice for these next moments because your spirit needs to hear truth stronger than the lies pain has whispered into your mind for too long. I know disappointment made you cautious about hoping again. I know repeated heartbreak trained your heart to expect loss instead of restoration. But tonight is different. Tonight, heaven is speaking directly into your exhaustion, your loneliness, your fear, and your hidden wounds. Hell never expected you to survive this long. Darkness believed the betrayal would destroy your trust permanently. The enemy thought depression would consume your mind completely. Fear believed it could keep you trapped inside hopelessness forever. But I carried you through every breakdown because your rise was always part of my plan. Every painful season built spiritual strength inside you. Every lonely night deepened your dependence upon me. Every disappointment sharpened your discernment. And every battle you survived became proof that my hand never released your life. Within the next few minutes, you will understand why your delays happened, why certain people left your life, and why your breakthrough had to arrive exactly now. Timing matters deeply in heaven. If some blessings had arrived too early, they would have crushed you emotionally instead of helping you. If certain people had stayed, they would have delayed your healing and distracted your purpose. If some doors opened before your spirit matured through suffering, you would not have been prepared to protect what heaven planned to place into your hands. But now the season is changing because the stronger version of you is finally ready for what comes next. Please support our channel. Our work is to bring happiness in your life and devotion to God. And if you want, you can donate to us, given link in description or pinned comment to show your support. My beloved child, what I prepared for you cannot be canceled anymore. No enemy, no betrayal, no delay, no curse, no mistake, and no spiritual attack carries enough authority to stop what heaven already finished. I need those words to settle deeply into your spirit tonight, because fear has spent too much time convincing you that your future remained uncertain. But heaven is not uncertain about your destiny. I've already saw your restoration before your suffering even began. I've already prepared healing before your heartbreak happened. I've already planned peace before anxiety entered your thoughts. And I've already decided victory before the enemy launched attacks against your life. Tonight is different because this message was planned before your birth. I knew there would come a season when your spirit would feel tired from surviving too much pain silently. I knew there would come nights when you questioned whether I still heard your prayers. I knew there would come moments when loneliness would convince you that nobody truly understood your suffering. And because I saw those moments before they arrived, I prepared this encounter to remind you that heaven never stopped fighting for you. So breathe again, my child. Let your heart become still for a moment. The waiting season is ending. The breakthrough already started moving. The answer has already been approved. And what heaven prepared for your life can never be canceled again. My beloved child, hear me tonight. Stop scrolling for a moment and give me your full attention, because this is not an ordinary night, and these are not ordinary words. Heaven interrupted this moment for you specifically. Out of millions of people moving through their lives right now, I brought your eyes here because your spirit desperately needed this encounter with me. This is not coincidence. This is not luck. This is not random timing. Before you were even born, before your first breath entered your lungs, before anyone on earth knew your name, I'd already planned this exact moment where my voice would reach you in the middle of your pain, your confusion, and your exhaustion. Hear me tonight, because the enemy fought hard to stop this message before it reached you. Spiritual warfare surrounded this encounter long before you pressed play. Darkness tried distracting your mind. Fear tried exhausting your emotions. Overthinking tried pulling your attention somewhere else. The enemy wanted you too numb, too tired, and too hopeless to hear my voice clearly tonight. But I would not allow hell to silence what heaven already decided you needed to hear. There are things happening around your life spiritually that your natural eyes cannot fully see yet. The heaviness you have been feeling lately was not random. The emotional battles became stronger because darkness sensed this breakthrough moment approaching before you did. My child, listen carefully now, because this is important. The enemy does not fight this hard over empty lives. Hell does not waste attacks on people without purpose. The confusion, exhaustion, fear, loneliness, and emotional pressure surrounding your life recently were signs that your spirit was moving closer toward something heaven prepared long ago. Darkness recognized the shift before your human mind could understand it. That is why everything suddenly felt heavier. That is why your peace felt attacked. That is why discouragement whispered louder recently. The enemy wanted to weaken your spirit before this message could awaken something powerful inside you again. But hear me tonight. No attack from hell has enough authority to stop what heaven already spoke over your future. I know you are tired. I know your heart has been carrying silent battles nobody else fully understands. I know there were moments when you smiled in front of people while secretly fighting tears behind your eyes. I know there were nights when your thoughts became so heavy that sleep escaped you completely. I know the fear you hide from others. I know the questions you ask yourself privately when nobody is around. I know how disappointment slowly drained your hope after praying for answers that seemed delayed for far too long. And because I know your pain deeply, I could not remain silent any longer. This encounter was planned before your birth, because I knew there would come a night when your soul would desperately need reassurance from me directly. I knew there would come a season where loneliness would make you question your value. I knew betrayal would wound your heart deeply. I knew delays would make you wonder whether your prayers still mattered in heaven. I knew the enemy would try convincing you that you were forgotten, abandoned, and permanently broken. But my precious child, none of those lies were ever true. You were chosen for this moment long before you understood why life unfolded the way it did. There are reasons your spirit feels pulled toward these words tonight. Part of you already sensed that something inside your life is shifting. Even though confusion surrounded your thoughts, even though exhaustion sat heavily upon your emotions, your spirit recognized my voice calling you here. That feeling inside you right now is not imagination. That sudden stillness you feel while listening is not coincidence. Heaven is reaching directly into your pain tonight because your breakthrough season is closer than you realize. Do not skip these words now. Please stay until the very end, because what I am about to reveal will explain so much suffering you carried silently for years. I know disappointment trained your heart to protect itself from hope. I know pain made you cautious about believing things could truly change anymore. But this message carries answers your spirit has been crying out for during sleepless nights. The enemy knows that once your heart understands what heaven already prepared for your future, fear will lose its control over your thoughts completely. My beloved child, there were unseen battles happening around your life while you struggled quietly through emotional storms. You thought you were simply tired, but spiritual warfare was trying to weaken your confidence. You thought you were simply overthinking, but darkness was trying to fill your mind with hopelessness before this encounter arrived. You thought the loneliness was random, but the enemy wanted isolation to convince you that nobody cared whether you survived emotionally or spiritually. Yet through every hidden attack against your peace, my hand remained over your life continuously. You survived because heaven protected you through battles you never fully saw. There were moments when emotional exhaustion became so overwhelming that you almost gave up internally. I saw those nights. I heard the prayers whispered through tears. I watched you staring into darkness, wondering if things would ever improve. I saw the heartbreak you carried silently while pretending to remain strong around others. I saw the loneliness nobody else noticed. I saw the panic hidden behind your calm appearance. And even during moments when you questioned whether I still heard your cries, I remained beside you, protecting your spirit from complete destruction. My child, hear me tonight, because your suffering was never meaningless. Every painful season carried hidden purpose. Every delay shaped spiritual strength inside you. Every betrayal sharpened your discernment. Every lonely night deepened your dependence upon me. Even when life felt unfair, heaven was still working behind the scenes, preparing things your human eyes could not yet understand fully. The enemy wanted your pain to convince you that your future was ruined. Darkness wanted you trapped inside hopelessness permanently. But my beloved child, your story was never going to end in defeat. Before your suffering even began, I've already prepared restoration for your future. Before betrayal wounded your heart, I've already planned healing for your spirit. Before fear attacked your thoughts, I've already declared peace over your destiny. And before the enemy launched battles against your life, heaven already chose you for victory. That is why this moment matters so deeply. You are not listening to this message accidentally. Heaven interrupted this night because your spirit needed truth stronger than the lies pain has been whispering into your mind for too long. I needed you to hear directly from me that you are not forgotten. You are not abandoned. You are not cursed. You are not permanently broken. The delays did not cancel your purpose. The heartbreak did not destroy your destiny. And the mistakes you regret did not remove my hand from your future. Something life-changing is going to be revealed before this message ends. Stay close now, because what I speak next will begin healing confusion that has tormented your spirit for years. The answers you prayed for in darkness are about to make sense. The seasons that nearly broke you emotionally are about to reveal hidden purpose. And the same heaven that carried you through every painful chapter is now preparing to move in your life openly. My child, tonight is different. This is not another ordinary night of surviving emotional pain quietly. This is not another empty moment passing through your routine. This is a divine interruption sent directly from heaven into your life. And before this encounter ends, your spirit will begin understanding why the enemy fought so hard to keep you from hearing my voice tonight. My beloved child, hear me carefully tonight, because there is something your heart has questioned for a very long time. There were nights when you prayed through tears and wondered if anyone in heaven was truly listening. There were moments when silence became so heavy around your life that you thought your cries disappeared into emptiness. You whispered prayers late at night while the rest of the world slept, and because answers did not arrive immediately, part of you slowly began believing that maybe your words were not reaching me anymore. But my precious child, I need you to understand this deeply tonight. Every prayer reached heaven. Every tear was seen. Every whispered cry entered my heart. Not one painful moment escaped my attention. I saw the nights when your voice trembled while speaking to me quietly in darkness. I saw you sitting alone, emotionally exhausted, trying to explain pain that words could barely describe. There were moments when you did not even know what to pray anymore because disappointment had drained your strength completely. Sometimes all you could do was whisper, "Lord, help me." Sometimes all you could do was cry silently because your soul became too overwhelmed for sentences. But my child, heaven understands tears too. Heaven hears broken prayers too. You never needed perfect words for me to recognize your suffering. I remember every night you stared upward asking me why life became so painful. I remember the fear hidden inside your questions. I remember the exhaustion behind your silence. I remember the moments when loneliness wrapped around your spirit so tightly that you wondered whether anyone truly cared about your survival emotionally or spiritually. I saw you carrying burdens nobody around you fully understood. I saw you smiling in front of people while secretly feeling empty inside. I saw you fighting battles privately because you feared others would never understand the depth of your pain. But heaven understood every hidden emotion. Come and thank you for being so close, Lord, if He's been your constant companion. Every emotional breakdown was recorded in heaven. There was never a single moment when your suffering became invisible to me. I watched every tear rolling down your face during sleepless nights. I saw every panic-filled moment when fear tightened around your chest. I heard every trembling breath released through sadness. Even during the nights when you felt abandoned, I remained beside you, listening carefully to every whispered prayer leaving your lips. You thought silence meant I was absent, but silence never meant abandonment. While you were crying, heaven was already moving in ways your human eyes could not yet see. My child, there were times when you prayed for immediate answers, but what you could not see was that answers had already begun moving the moment your prayers reached heaven. Even while your heart remained broken, I was arranging things behind the scenes carefully. Even while you sat in loneliness questioning your future, I was already protecting doors, redirecting relationships, and preparing opportunities your spirit was not ready to carry yet. The delay was never proof that I ignored you. The delay was evidence that heaven was working deeply on things bigger than what your natural eyes could currently understand. You felt desperate during some seasons because pain lasted longer than expected. There were nights when you cried yourself to sleep wondering if life would ever improve. There were moments when hopelessness whispered that nothing would change no matter how much you prayed. You became tired emotionally, tired mentally, tired spiritually. And because answers did not arrive quickly, you started carrying silent disappointment inside your relationship with me. But my beloved child, even during your weakest moments, heaven never stopped listening to your cries. I heard every prayer spoken through fear. I heard every exhausted whisper. I heard every desperate question. I heard every moment you begged me not to leave you alone. And while you were suffering, answers were already moving toward your life. You could not see it then because pain clouded your vision. Loneliness made everything feel empty. Delays made hope difficult to hold on to. But there were spiritual battles happening around your future that required divine timing. Some doors needed to remain closed temporarily because danger stood behind them, hidden from your eyes. Some people needed to leave your life because they could not go where I was taking you next. Some blessings needed preparation before your spirit could carry them safely. So while you cried through the waiting season, heaven continued working continuously behind the scenes. My child, I know there were moments when your prayers sounded more like broken conversations than confident faith. There were nights when disappointment made your voice shaky. There were moments when your heart became so tired that you questioned whether praying even mattered anymore. But listen carefully now. Your prayers mattered more than you realized. Every word spoken through pain moved heaven deeply because I saw the sincerity hidden inside your brokenness. You never needed to impress me with perfect faith. I only needed your honest heart. I remember the nights when you whispered my name repeatedly because fear overwhelmed your thoughts. I remember the mornings when anxiety sat heavily upon your chest before the day even started. I remember the loneliness after people walked away from your life unexpectedly. I remember the heartbreak nobody apologized for. I remember how desperately you searched for peace while your spirit quietly struggled to survive emotionally. And through every painful chapter, I stayed close to you even when you could not feel me clearly. My beloved child, there were unseen reasons your prayers seemed delayed. Some answers required spiritual protection before release. Some blessings needed proper timing because receiving them too early would have hurt you instead of helping you. You wanted relief immediately, but heaven was preparing restoration that would last much longer than temporary comfort. I was not ignoring your pain. I was building something deeper than you could see. While you cried over closed doors, I was protecting your future. While you mourned relationships ending, I was redirecting your path. While you questioned delays, I was preparing breakthroughs greater than your current understanding. While loneliness surrounded your nights, angels surrounded your life. You were never abandoned during the waiting season. I know loneliness became one of your deepest battles. Sometimes you felt emotionally invisible even while surrounded by people. You longed for someone to understand your heart without forcing you to explain every hidden wound repeatedly. There were nights when silence inside your room felt unbearable because your thoughts became too loud. And during those moments, the enemy whispered lies telling you nobody cared, nobody listened, and nothing would ever improve. But darkness lied to you, my child. Heaven listened continuously. There were angels assigned to your life during moments you never even recognized spiritually. There were dangers avoided quietly through my protection. There were nights when despair almost consumed your spirit completely, but my hand held you together gently even while you struggled to feel hope anymore. The fact that you survived those painful seasons is proof that heaven never stopped fighting for you. My precious child, answers are no longer far away now. The prayers you cried through tears already reached eternity long ago. What you begged me for in desperation did not disappear into silence. Heaven heard everything. Heaven moved on everything. And even now, while you listen to my voice tonight, answers are still unfolding around your life in ways you cannot fully see yet. Peace is moving toward your mind. Healing is moving toward your heart. Restoration is moving toward your future. And clarity is moving toward the confusion that haunted your thoughts for too long. You may still feel tired tonight, but your suffering was never wasted. You may still carry questions, but heaven never ignored your cries. You may still remember painful nights, but those tears already watered the future I prepared for you. So breathe again now, my child. The silence never meant I stopped listening. The waiting never meant I stopped working. And your prayers never stopped moving heaven. My beloved child, I know there were many nights when you asked me the same painful question over and over again. Lord, why is everything taking so long? You prayed. You waited. You cried. And after so much silence, part of your heart slowly became tired from expecting change that never seemed to arrive. I saw the disappointment building inside your spirit every time another door closed. I saw how delays made you question yourself. I saw how waiting became emotionally exhausting because it felt like everyone around you was moving forward, while your life remained standing still. But hear me carefully tonight, because I need to heal the misunderstanding you carried about this waiting season. The delays were never punishment. The waiting was preparation. My child, I never delayed your life because I wanted to hurt you. I never ignored your prayers. I never forgot your future. There were things happening around your destiny that your natural eyes could not yet see. While you focused on the pain of waiting, heaven was focused on protecting your future from things that could have destroyed your peace later. Some doors stayed closed because danger stood behind them. Some opportunities delayed because your spirit was not fully healed yet. Some people left because they could not go where I was preparing to take you. And even though your heart struggled to understand the delays, I was guiding every moment carefully with love. You wanted immediate answers because pain made the waiting feel unbearable. I understand that. I saw the tears. I heard the frustration hidden inside your prayers. There were moments when you felt forgotten because life did not change as quickly as you hoped. But my precious child, if I had allowed certain blessings into your life too early, they would have crushed you emotionally instead of helping you. You prayed for things your spirit was not fully prepared to carry yet. You asked for doors to open while your heart was still wounded from old battles. You wanted breakthrough while fear still controlled parts of your thinking. So I slowed certain things down because I care more about protecting your future than satisfying temporary emotions. There were relationships you cried over losing, but those relationships could not survive the future I prepared for you. Some people loved the broken version of you because your pain made you easier to control emotionally. Some individuals stayed connected to your wounds but could not connect to your healing. If I allowed certain people to remain beside you longer, they would have delayed your growth, weakened your confidence, and distracted your purpose. So while you mourned their absence, heaven quietly protected your destiny through separation. I know rejection hurt deeply. I know delays made you feel unwanted sometimes. I know you watched others receiving blessings while your own prayers seemed unanswered. But my child, comparison blinded you from seeing what heaven was actually doing in your life. Some people moved faster because they carried different assignments. Some doors opened quickly for others because their path required different preparation. But your destiny carries weight. Your future carries purpose. And certain things required deeper preparation before release. The waiting season was shaping strength inside your spirit that comfort alone could never create. Pain taught you lessons success could not teach. Loneliness deepened your ability to hear my voice clearly. Betrayal sharpened your discernment. Delays taught patience. Heartbreak taught compassion. Every painful season built wisdom inside you slowly. I know you would never have chosen suffering willingly, but suffering developed spiritual depth inside your soul that easy seasons could never produce. The stronger version of you being formed now was created through endurance, tears, prayer, disappointment, and survival. Do you realize how much stronger your spirit became after surviving everything that tried to destroy your peace? There was a time when smaller problems would have completely shattered your confidence. But after enduring sleepless nights, emotional exhaustion, betrayal, loneliness, and disappointment, your spirit now carries deeper resilience. Even though you still feel tired sometimes, you are not the same person you used to be. Pain changed you, but it also strengthened you in ways you still do not fully recognize. My beloved child, there were also spiritual attacks surrounding your future that required divine protection during the waiting season. Darkness saw the calling attached to your life before you fully understood it yourself. The enemy recognized your future carried healing, purpose, influence, and restoration. That is why attacks intensified during certain seasons. Fear increased because hell wanted your confidence destroyed. Delays increased because darkness hoped frustration would make you quit. Isolation increased because the enemy wanted loneliness to convince you that nobody cared about your future anymore. But heaven remained protecting you continuously. There were unseen battles happening around your life while you simply tried surviving emotionally. Angels stood guard over doors you could not yet walk through safely. Spiritual protection surrounded your mind during moments when hopelessness nearly consumed your thoughts completely. Heaven delayed certain breakthroughs not because you were forgotten, but because timing mattered deeply for your protection. Some blessings required the removal of dangerous people first. Some opportunities required hidden battles to be won spiritually before manifestation could happen naturally. My child, nothing you suffered was wasted. Not one tear, not one lonely night, not one heartbreak, not one delay, not one unanswered question. Everything became part of the preparation process shaping your future. You thought you were only surviving pain, but heaven was building endurance inside you. You thought you were simply waiting, but heaven was preparing environments, connections, timing, and opportunities that would align perfectly with your future. You thought silence meant nothing was happening, but spiritual movement surrounded your life continuously even when your eyes could not recognize it. I know the waiting season made you question yourself sometimes. You wondered whether you had failed me somehow. You wondered whether mistakes from your past delayed your blessings permanently. You wondered if life would always feel this heavy. But my precious child, your delays were not evidence of rejection. They were evidence of divine care. I protected you from situations you begged me for because I could see outcomes your emotions could not yet understand. There were jobs you cried over losing that would have drained your peace completely. There were relationships you begged me to restore that secretly carried emotional destruction for your future. There were opportunities you chased that would have distracted you from your purpose entirely. And because I love you deeply, I closed doors your heart wanted open desperately. One day you will look back and thank me for every delayed answer that protected your destiny. One day you will understand why certain things had to unfold slowly. One day the confusion surrounding your painful seasons will finally make sense. And when that understanding comes, you will realize something powerful. Heaven never wasted your suffering. Write your mercy never let me go if his kindness held you up. And share this video.